most days I'm like, this is great, I love being able to juggle, I'm a super mama, woo! And then obviously some days you're like, oh. Oh my goodness! Do you remember a little while back, Tim and I were invited by Sunrise Greece to do sort of like a European like post-wedding photo shoot. Yeah, it ended up being quite awkward because I don't think that we were the type of, I guess, sponsors they were looking for. We just wanted to keep everything organic. I mean, we really appreciated them taking us on this trip, but it seemed like they were expecting a lot in return, you know, as if they were saying like, oh, but we're giving you this, we're flying you here for free, you should do this. So yeah, in the end it didn't work out. All right, so now let's go back by 3 years or more. And do you remember Tim and I, we did our pre-wedding photos in Seoul. Tim and I, we actually paid for that experience ourselves, and we could not be any happier with the photos. And then years and years later, turns out that quite a few couples have ended up going for that company for their pre-wedding photos. First of all, I want to thank you to all the couples for mentioning Tim and I hope you had a great experience. And because of that, the company, you know, I want to invite Tim and I back. I doubt the company know anything about my channel or anything, but yeah, they invited us to go for like a VIP package. Mega excited, and it's just funny how things work out, right? Question, I have stains in here from using my facial oils. How do I remove these? I tried using a makeup wipe, but of course it's not working. After I uploaded yesterday's vlog, just reading your comments, it was really uplifting. So what I found really surprising was a lot of you guys actually say that you don't really watch beauty tutorials anymore. I know it's so funny because I remember when I was in VidCon, this discussion came up. Of course, there's a lot of beauty tutorials who are getting millions of hits these days. It's a true testimony to just how talented they are. But aside from that, I feel like tutorials can just be very repetitive. I won't say too much in this vlog because I made a different video talking more about it. But I want to say thank you guys so much. You always know how to make me feel better. I'm making dumplings today. Dumplings and rice noodles. Lots of bubbles, please! I heard this up. It really reminds me of my childhood, and I was playing it, and the lady in the tub was like, oh, this is for your little one. And I was like, sure. Are you ready for your bath? What toys would you like today? Cup? Good choice. Would you like some mints? Perhaps some milk? Or a squeaky toy? There's something about baths that's very magical for children. Like, they could be tantruming and screaming, but as soon as they get in the water, something happens. It raises your body temperature, but when you leave, your body temperature cools down. So baths are supposed to make you sleepy. I feel a complete opposite. If I'm feeling really tired and I go get a bath, I end up feeling quite energized. So my question is, what's the experience like for you guys? If you had to lift your child out of the water without getting wet, then you do this. It reminds me of the biblical novelty plays in school. Come, my child. See? I don't get wet. Meanwhile, hey, Domo, stop sniffing your sister. Good job! He likes playing these sort of like shapes these days. Just having one of those crappy days. I think especially because Isaac hasn't been too well, so he's been tantruming. Ow! I love being a mom, and he makes me smile every day. But you know, there's just some days where I just get a bit tired. I think my character is I really don't like asking people for help. I always see it as a blessing that I can get the best of both worlds. You know, do what I love, at the same time be a full-time mommy to Isaac. But it's just hard trying to please everyone. Great when Tim's here because he helps out, but you know, when he's in Hong Kong, it gets quite tricky, and I don't like asking people for help. I think I just need to get these emotions out, to get the frustration out, and then tomorrow will be a better day. Instead of focusing on what I didn't do today, I just gotta focus on what I did do. And the fact that he got sick when I was in LA doing VidCon, I just felt so guilty. I only have one set of hands. Sorry about earlier, guys. Most likely just venting emotions and over exaggerating. Just need to make it through this year and everything will be okay. Good afternoon, guys. It's been quite a productive day. It is currently 2 p.m. and I'm just waiting for my date, aka the best friend. So we're gonna be heading out for lunch. I always feel a lot better when I get subbed up. Last night I was a little emotional. It actually happens more often than you think. Most days I'm like, this is great. I love being able to juggle. I'm a super mama. Obviously some days you're like, oh. Crying is actually a perfectly healthy and normal way to get over like some tension. Sometimes it's just all you need to do. So sometimes when Isaac cries, I don't tell him to stop crying. I just let him cry. I hold him and I let him cry. And then afterwards, he's so happy. I love having a great time with Isaac. Why am I out of breath? Since he is approaching 2 years old, he is starting to tantrum a lot more. And I think especially because he can't really talk yet, he can't express himself, so it gets him very, very frustrated. Another thing is, since like, I don't like using this word, but since like I'm the breadwinner of the family, it can get quite difficult trying to juggle both sides. For the most part, I completely love it, but there's just some days where it gets a little too much. What I really need to do is just to have a good cry. So luckily Tim's mom, she helps out, but I don't like asking people for help because she's also studying right now and I don't want to pester her time. But at the same time, like there's quite a lot of like projects on my end. Like I will always prioritize my family first. Family will be up here, and then my projects and everything that I want to do is so important to me. They'll be around here. I'm quite an emotional person, but I'm quite optimistic. I get back up on my feet easily. I think my downside of me is I stress easily. I don't like asking people for help. And at the same time, I'm the type of person, if someone asks me to do something, I'll say yes. What happens is I will all pile up and then I'll get emotional doing it, but I still won't ask for help. So I think it's something I need to really work on.